Yo, what up, guys? So, question we're going to tackle today is, why does my arm feel weak after a day of throwing? So, we're going to dive a little bit into this, into some concepts that I see as a huge disconnect in the day and age that we live in. But it's funny, I was just having a conversation with my dad about my upbringing and how much I threw and how I always kind of felt good. Yeah, you can make the argument for I was young, and everyone feels good when they're young, but I kind of grew up on a high amount of volume, right? And then we kind of transition into this new baseball culture of brake pedal approach, don't throw because you'll get surgery type way of looking about these things. And I think now there's this fear tactic with kids, with parents even kind of talking to their kids or coaching their kids now and having restrictions on pitch count or even like throw counts per day. And to answer the question simply, I think what's happening, dude, is like your volume is so low, right? You're simply not throwing enough. And then you go out and throw and you think naturally, oh, I want to increase my velocity, so I got to throw a lot. And then that one day you spike your volume. And then that next day you're like, wow, I feel sore, I feel weak, I'm not going to do anything for 4 days. And then 4 days later you're like, oh, I feel pretty good, volume up. So it's like, dude, you got to look at like that whole work week and be like, okay, well, no wonder. So I'm not saying that this is that I'm talking to the person that asked this question, but I think this is a common thing where we're so restricted with our volume, right? And then we're required to train velocity or throw harder, and it's like, and then it's like, no wonder you're breaking down, dude. So I would just kind of encourage you to look at that, your whole program or your whole regimen throughout your week or multiple weeks in a row and be like, okay, well, I'm not seeing gains. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that you should go out and throw until your arm falls off every single day to build that tolerance. But I am saying that I think 90% of the time with questions that I get like this, the case is simple. You're simply not throwing enough. Trust that you have a pretty solid foundation. Trust that you know like what you're doing from a delivery standpoint, and you can handle volume. We always talk about stress, and everyone demonizes stress about how it's this terrible thing and we should avoid stress because of this and that. Stress is a great thing in the sense of your body's adaptation to stress. Now, obviously, if we overload the body with stress, it's eventually going to break down. But if we are smart within our approach, if we're tactical about our implementation of specific things, then we can get the body to adapt, and then we can be better equipped to, freaking take on the world, man, and pitch 200 plus innings a year, right? So it's tough, right? Because you always walk that fine line of, too much, not enough. I get it. But like I said, man, I'm passionate about volume and looking at guys' volume. And I just think nowadays, and it's no disrespect or I'm not harping on like the kids in the sense, because obviously you're going to be a product of your environment. But at the same time, I think that's a huge piece that we're seeing, is that everyone's restricted, man, and we're not throwing enough. Gosh, I remember being young and just throwing and yeah. All right. Anyways, good question. Hopefully someone could take something from that and learn and grow and I don't know what else, but I'll give you one of these cheddar biscuits.